Hello, I'm Brian Pruzzo with Overcoming Obstacles to Health. In this short video, I'm talking about a side stretch or use of a chair to help, say, with neck tension. It could be somewhere down in your hips or your ribs, in the spine, low back. This is a really good way to loosen things up when you're having some troubles or just in general. And it's a little different, so you'll have to kind of follow what I'm saying, and I'll try to do my best. I'll move my hands out of the way. Maybe you can see what I'm doing. So anyways, the idea is to do a side bend. So if you are, say, right side dominant, then you might want to bend towards your left first. And what we're trying to do, so you could just do a side bend and I could come slump over here, is I don't want to use my arms to help hold me up. I want to work down low at the hips here, and there's that kind of crest of the pelvis where a lot of stuff attaches, and we may feel often on the back side, but there is a tie-in with the same muscles that come to these oblique or angled muscles in the abdomen, and they work their way and wrap around the backside and often cause some issues. But we have stuff that ends up being in the mid-torso area, in the shoulders, and up to the neck area as well. So what we want to do is start at our foundation first. So if I start to bend over, first I just have a straight spine and I lean over to the side. Now right away, my head and my neck, I might feel it there first. If I do, try to keep this part of your body just where you have it, and then move the upper part back, because we want to focus down here first. And so when I do that, I could go over a little bit further. Of course, you want to listen to your body. As soon as you feel it, just pause and wait. So I'm trying to lean over as far as I can to where I feel it. So I start to feel it down low, and that's where I want to feel it for probably about 30 seconds or so, depending on how long you can handle that. And then usually not necessarily doing longer is better, but I want it to start to release a little bit. So I'm kind of leaning over here. Now, you could do this on the toilet as well. Can help with elimination. So then when I start to feel that loosen up, I want to focus kind of in this mid-torso, upper body area. So I'm going to lean over again to try to find that tension. And it may be in the backside or something a little bit too, or the front. If I start to feel it in my neck quite a bit, then leave everything else in its position and move it back over to the other side. I can put my hand over here to give me a little more weight in this and keep my shoulder down. Now you could do this, you could work through this in 5 minutes or longer sometimes, depending on how you're feeling. But I'd start out slow. If this isn't something you've done, I wouldn't do that more than a couple minutes. And, you wait a couple days. If you wait 2 days, it gives your body time to adjust. The fascia will make some adjustments. If you do a stretch every single day, the body doesn't have time to recalibrate. And so you don't really know the effects of it. But also just proceed with caution on something new is a good idea. So then maybe I've got some of that and it started to loosen up a little. I'm going a little bit, further over. I might feel it more towards the upper spine there, transition at the neck, and the neck area might come into play. So I'm feeling these attachments here on the side, and that's where I'm working it and activating it as at the same time, so we're not just doing a passive stretch. So take some deep breaths. I might change my head position here. I could come forward a little bit more with the shoulders or a little bit more back to adjust. And then come back up. So I'll put my hands on my knees. I'll pull my elbows back so my shoulder blades are working together. I'm feeling my lats on the side engage as I push my shoulders down as well. Push the feet into the ground and squeeze your knees together as if there was a block or something between your legs. Or you can pull your hands out to resist. And then relax that. And then go to the other side. So you could take a deep inhale and feel those sit bones at first to sit up a little taller. And then as you exhale, start to go over. Now notice where you do feel it right away. Maybe you feel it in your neck or some other area. Maybe you feel it down low. And then come back out of it with the upper part. So I'm leaving this part where it is and I'm moving back. So I want to feel it really low as I can here. It still should be, comfortable, be a little stressful. So this is more of a kind of a yin approach, which is the opposite of like the yang or yang styles of yoga where you do something very active and vigorous and flowing. This is the opposite of that. So taking some deep breaths. So I'd say, pause the video here. You could do the same thing on this side. Spend a couple minutes like we did. I want to fast forward to the twisting portion of this. So just make sure you focus here first, then the mid-torso, the shoulders, and the neck last. So see me in a couple minutes. All right, so then we're going to add in the twist. So first off, I just want to twist like my spine is on an axis here, and I'm just twisting. And then I start to side bend a little bit. Now I want to feel this more in the front on that kind of bony area there. That's where that's our focus area. And so I could lean over a little bit more. And I might get a little side bend in the spine later, but right now I want to keep the spine mostly straight. So I'm just rotating on an axis. And I can start to look back a little bit more, lean over a little further. If I feel it in my neck, that's too soon to feel it in the neck. We want to turn the head back because I want to feel it down here. And, the feet might start to lift, so you might have to push them down a little bit or just find your grip. A little bit lower chair sometimes is better. You get your feet squarely on the ground. Taking some deep breaths. Maybe I've worked this area here out a little bit. It started to loosen up if you found it. Sometimes it's hard to find, so you might have to twist a little bit more. I might have to push with my hand to get that twist. Feel it in the front a little bit and on the side. And when that starts to release, I can lean over a little bit more. So be careful. You might need something over here. You could hook your leg underneath the chair, possibly. So you just got to be careful with this. Don't fall over. So I'm feeling it in the mid-torso area here now. And so I may twist a little bit more. This is working in the ribs. And take some deep breaths. Maybe things loosen up a little bit more. I could start to focus on my neck, which could be turning my head, or I could lift the head. I could bring it down. And if you start to feel anything kind of, just getting aggravated or cramping, you can always come out and go back in a little bit. But if it's cramping, then you're probably done on this side and switch to the other side. So we kind of go back and forth. Or you just say, I'm not sure if I can hold here longer. So then come out. And you can always go into it again, go back and forth. So you slowly come out of that, work your way back up to center. You can push the hands down, pull back again, and then twist. So again, try to use this core here. So there's muscles that run transverse abdominals, or they run horizontal like this. They're deeper to the muscles that we think of on the abdomen. And so that's what I'm doing when I twist this way. I'm working some of those muscles to help me twist. And then the upper part, I may twist back the other direction. So I'm getting, some of these muscles are holding one direction, and then the others are doing that. They're going the opposite. And that sometimes happens in certain movements, like sports, when you're reaching back and you're winding up. Well, one part is still going one direction, the other starts to turn the other. And that's what we're working those muscles as well. So again, I'm going to do enough of a twist and a lean over that I can feel it, maybe in the front of my hip. One side you may feel it, and one side you might not. Again, you can, as you start to lean over, you can hook that foot under the leg. So I don't advise the office chair per se with the wheels, unless you're just not leaning over as far and you're kind of doing something brief. Just working with your breath. Maybe you're feeling it in your ribs. On your dominant side, a lot of times when you twist, if you're right side dominant and you twist to the left, you might feel it around your shoulder blade and such. So how this helps the neck is if we have a lot of tension in one area of our body, is we can try to shift that tension down somewhere else. If we were standing, we would want to try to stand that, switch it to our feet. But a lot of times the stuff that we're doing, maybe our neck is aggravated, is from sitting. So we're trying to focus and get to our foundation here, which is our hips, and shift that down there. So that's one way to exercise, and or active stretching, yoga, martial arts, dance, things like that can help to balance out your body, is to spread the tension more evenly throughout the body. And it becomes like your body work or like massage in a way, not the rubbing kind, but more of a therapeutic, that you can change things in your body for the good. Maybe you're turning your head a little bit more. And then you come back to center. So you could do it a little bit longer on either side. But if you side bend one direction, you want to go next to the side bend the opposite to balance it out. And then twist and lean. And then twist and lean the opposite direction. So if you have any questions or comments, just let me know. It's one thing that I use for some of my old neck injury, serious neck injury I have, if I do something to aggravate it or I sleep funny. Something you can do yourself without, say, a foam roller or yoga blocks, depending on what you have. Or you could do it at your desk, you know, if you're careful with your chair. So anyways, if you like this video, please do so and subscribe. And then I've also have a Facebook and Instagram pages as well. The easiest way to find links to that is brianpruzzo.com, and that's where I have other free videos like this, and a link to YouTube, and then classes, yoga and functional fusion and other things like that. So thank you so much.